Guys, have you seen the story of Melvin and CJ in Port Harcourt? Omo, hmm. Another fear has been unlocked about how friends can do anything to each other. So, Melvin is a big boy. He's all those nightlife influencers who organize night parties, club parties and all that. He's well known in some parts of Port Harcourt, according to the story. So, this guy met CJ last year. CJ is a graduate. He sells luxury items like wristwatches, sunglasses. I think he sells it for people, like he resells for people. So both of them met, and Melvin started introducing him to big boys because according to the story, Melvin works with big boys because he's into nightlife. So now Melvin and CJ were actually doing some business transactions. I don't know, maybe Melvin invested in that business with CJ and they started making money. So it gives him returns and everything. So on this particular day, Melvin invited CJ to the house. I think Melvin wanted CJ to bring some items to him. I think some wristwatches or something. And CJ brought it to the house. They talked in the room, he showed him what he wanted to show him and everything. I think Melvin now wanted to go get him a drink. As he turned to get him a drink, CJ grabbed his neck, brought out a knife from his pocket, and he used it to slash Melvin's throat. Like, yes, he unalived Melvin. Melvin was fighting for his life. While he was fighting for his life, he held his neck. Then CJ asked him to transfer some money to him. So while he was trying to, while he was fighting for his life, he still had his phone and asked him to make some transactions, which he did, according to the narrator. So now the neighbors heard Melvin's voice because Melvin was crying for help and begging his friend to please, 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 what have I done? What is happening? One of his neighbors heard and they knew that something was happening inside the house, so they were banging the door. On hearing this, the fact that the neighbors were about to forcefully enter into the apartment, CJ took some of the stains on Melvin's body because now Melvin was already soiled. By now Melvin was already soiled, and he grabbed some of the stains on his body and used it to rub his own body. While Melvin fell to the ground, CJ also fell to the ground before the neighbors could gain access into the house. When they came in, they saw two people on the floor. One was fighting for his life and the other was lifeless. They were confused because the door was locked from inside. So who is the attacker? There is no other exit. So who must have attacked the other person? They didn't know what was happening. They saw that Melvin still had some life in him, so they were trying to like rescue him, like take him to the hospital. One person touched his friend CJ, and they said, but this guy no get any wound for body. He has no wound on his body, no cut, nothing. Why is he staying on the floor? Why does he have stains on his body? That was when they discovered that CJ was the attacker and was pretending to be lifeless so that they would not see him as a suspect. So they took him to the police station while some people took Melvin to the hospital. Melvin there is recuperating right now. I'm going to post a picture of him. While CJ at the hospital, thinking that his friend had already died, told them that the only reason he did that was because Melvin was making love advances to him, that he didn't know that Melvin was homosexual, and Melvin trying to make advances to him is against his belief and all of that, and he got upset. That's why he did what he did. But my question is, if truly you did that because you think your friend is GAY, why did you have a knife in your pocket? It was a pre-planned MURDER. You knew you were going to do that. You went to the house with a premonition to take his life, because why did you have a knife? Why did you, like, you planned it, you knew that was what you wanted, you had a motive. But now Melvin is still recuperating and has not given an official statement yet, but people are speculating that it's the transaction, that CJ was owing Melvin some money and Melvin was insisting that he needed his money because they were doing business, and CJ was supposed to remit some money to him, and CJ had not done it. So I think Melvin asked for his money, and CJ, thinking that he didn't have the money to give, decided to unalive Melvin so that he will forget about the money and nobody would ask him for the money. There are still so many speculations. People are saying that CJ is lying, saying that it's because his friend made love advances to him. That's why he did that. So my point is, I just hope that this whole case is settled and CJ faces the law. And I'm hoping that Melvin has a speedy recovery. I hope that and pray that God grants him a second chance. He's still in the hospital and God is still protecting him. God has given him a second chance, actually. Please, let's be careful. Friends every day. We don't even know who to trust anymore. It's even hard to tell people be careful, be careful, be careful these days because we don't even know. Won't we live? Won't we have friends? Like, it's really hard. But let me tell you one thing. Always remember that money is the root of all evil. Once you and your friends start transacting and there is a business transaction that is bringing money between you, you got to be very careful. If you know your own heart, you don't know that person's heart. Help your friends from afar. Sometimes don't show your friends where you fish, because once you do that, they will do everything they can to take you away from that pond. All the best, guys. I'm wishing Melvin a speedy recovery. May God be with him. May God bless him. And I pray and hope that the arms of law really, really deals with CJ.